What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today, just like the title says, we are going to be doing some taillights on the NBS Yukon. Now, I know you guys are just waiting for the drop video, and guys, honestly, I've had a lot going on, and it's going to be pretty in-depth. And a major reason is I'm going to be replacing every single piece of front suspension. I've got to put a new pitman arm on, and so I've been driving this, so I don't have a ton of time. You guys know that I just finished a video on my dad's truck out there that you guys saw in the last upload. I am getting ready to tear into my son's truck, and so I haven't had a ton of my son's car. I haven't had a ton of time because of all this, and so I figured we'd do something for the NBS SUV fans out there for a couple reasons. One, I have the lights here, and then two, this thing keeps falling out and is making me absolutely crazy. The thing's broke off, and I'll be driving down the road and I can hear it moving around. It's just making me nuts. So today we're going to address those things. We're going to put new taillights in. I bought some new lights for that as well, and some LEDs. And then that's pretty much it. We're gonna pull these lights out, put the new ones in. It should be a relatively simple process. The thing is absolutely nasty right now, but we'll try to clean up the bumper just a little bit so we can, you know, take a good thumbnail. But also, I don't like putting stuff over dirt, so we'll clean it up before we put the new pieces in place. But let's take a look at what we've got here, guys, for parts. I know I look like a used stereo shop with all the stereo stuff, because we do have some stereo that's going to be going in the Yukon at some point, but this is out of my son's G8. Anyway, I decided to go with Spider. Look, guys, they make a pretty good product, and I really like the look of these, and we'll see what they look like here in just a second, but this is not for that, by the way. I've got new reverse lights, so LED reverse lights from LazFit. I like these a little bit better than the LazFits, and the reason why is they have this little kind of smoked dome over them, so they're not real directional. That's why I chose these guys, and I'll list all this stuff in the description down below, as well as the new little holders, the things that are falling out of the bumper, so the actual bezels for the lights. But that is what we are going to be using today. Like I said, I'll list all this stuff in the description down below with a link, so if you guys want to check it out, it will be down there. But let's get started by opening this gate up and popping these old taillights out. Let's start here with a Phillips, and let's get these old lights out. Just 2 Phillips screws, and I'm hoping it doesn't fall out on the ground. I mean, I guess we're replacing it, so it doesn't matter, right? I don't want to wreck it and scratch up the paint either. Pull this guy out, see what we got. So we got 3 bulbs to pull out. Your bottom one, which should be your, oh, no, sorry, the middle one's a reverse bulb. Sometimes those things can be a pain to turn and get out. Oh, we got a little clip here on the bottom that holds it. So guys, you know how I am, and I cannot leave that pocket untouched. So I'm going to grab some cleaner, couple towels, and we will get this area cleaned out real good, and then we'll take a look at our new light. Now, I won't show you guys this process, or at least much of it here, but I'm just using some all-purpose cleaner and getting all the junk out of here. Do you have to do this? No. Will an OCD person do this? Definitely. I generally just go over with some shop towels at first, and then back over it another time with some microfibers. But look at the, you know, so many times these things rust, and you know, they generally don't rust in this area, but stuff like this can keep that from happening. So like I said, I'll go over it a couple times, maybe even go over the loom here a little bit. I'm not gonna get real crazy on that, but we'll get it just knocked down, all the big stuff, and then we'll grab that new light. Actually, I think I'm gonna pull you guys off the tripod and show you the new light versus the old light side by side. You can see I've got them laying in there. Now that we got that pocket all cleaned out, looks really good. Yeah, OCD guys. These are our new lights. And so, you know, I know they make a ton of different versions, guys. They make a smoked version, a more clear or Euro style. I just like simplicity. I like 2 colors. I do like the fact that the reverse light moves down. I used a very similar product to this on my Z71 Yukon, or Tahoe I mean, and I really like the look of it. So these I think are made quite a bit better. One thing I noticed is this, see this heat sink? That had two-sided tape on it for the one that I had before. So it was kind of hokey. This one comes actually mounted. Look, that thing does get warm, and I don't know, this just seems like a better quality product to me. So kind of how this works is we're gonna take out, see these guys here? They plug in, I gotta fish the other one out there. They plug into the factory bulbs. So remember, our reverse bulb, it's always gonna have a green. See the green there? So that is our reverse, and we need to move it to the bottom, but I also got new bulbs for that, as you guys saw over there. So I'm gonna go grab those bulbs. We'll pop these old bulbs out, and then we're gonna give it a shot here. We're gonna go ahead and pull all our bulbs out. The only one we'll be putting a new bulb in will be this one. Remember I said the green. Green's always gonna be reverse. So let's grab our new Lasfits for super bright backup and put those in place. Now I don't think, we'll check it, but I don't think they're polarity specific when you buy an actual good bulb. I think you can just put them in there and you have no issue. So aside from that, remember I said we're gonna have to dig out a couple things here. It's kind of a neat design in the fact that you plug this in, like it says right here, black to black wire on these. So it apparently does make a difference what goes where. And so I'm gonna we're gonna start out with the top one here to the top one. And if we're going black to black, that would be this direction. And guys, I am looking at the black that's on here compared to the black that's coming in on that side. And then we'll go ahead, see if we can swing it into place. Hopefully it fits. And that may tell me that I need to move that one to this guy here. Let's see if it fits. Yep. So we're actually changing the routing of the bulbs a little bit. With the middle one, or the bottom one before going to the top, we're gonna go make sure we got the black on the right side. Make sure we get them plugged in good. And then the reverse light going all the way to the bottom, and there's a protector over it. Looks like it's been on there a minute. I don't want to drop that, have that floating around on my light. So I'm gonna have to bust the loom open a little, actually, in order to get this to reach where it needs to reach down here. You can see I can't quite get there. I don't wanna force it. Now we've got all our lights plugged in. Let's see, you know, some people complained about this not reaching, but it looks like it will. It's just gonna be close. Let's see if we can tuck our wire kind of around. We don't want our wire really touching on this piece here because it does get warm. So I may loom it up, actually. I think I will. I'm gonna move this into that loom. I'm gonna do that real quick so where it's coming across this, it will actually not be touching. Now that we got that loom around it, we're pretty much ready to go back in place. These little stoppers, I think they actually stay on because there's nowhere for them to go. So let's put this guy in here. You know what though we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to rob, you hold that. We're gonna have to rob the clips off our old light. So these little guys here, we need to grab a flat blade screwdriver and pop those off because they are gonna have to transfer over. Now we got this in place. It's nice to have help out here holding this, honestly. Let's see if we can get it up here. Other people complained about the fitment. I mean, it seems like it fits pretty decent. I mean, it's not the best fitting thing. If you kind of center it from top to bottom, we'll see if we can get a screw started here. Got one of them. I don't think it's too terrible bad. We'll have to look and see if we can move it. You can see it's got some play up and down, that's for sure. I see what people are talking about. I mean, look, it's not going to fit like factory. I just want it to fit nicely. And I actually think I'd rather have the gap, because of the body line, I'd rather have the gap at the bottom where you don't see it when you're walking down the side of the truck. So that's what we're gonna go with. Don't over tighten these. Just going into plastic. I mean, it's a metal insert, but looks pretty good. I'm not gonna show you guys the other side. I'm gonna pop it in real quick and then we'll test them before we move on to the actual license plate lights. I found an interesting little thing when we get to the license plate light, by the way. So yeah, some shade tree mechanic stuff. But either way, we'll get the other light in, then we'll give them a test. Got both of them in, and I can tell you guys it's ridiculously bright. So go ahead, hit the brake lights. Crazy bright. Let's do, turn the turn signal, left turn signal on. Okay, right turn signal. Hit the brake while the turn signal's on. Okay, do the left and hit the brake while the turn signal's on. I kind of wish they'd both flash in unison, but we could go back and repin it. We're just gonna leave it for now. All right, drop it down in reverse. You don't have to make it, you don't actually have to turn it on, I don't think. Just hit your, all right. Nice and bright. Those last fits, guys, are crazy. And we really are not gonna get a good scope of what this looks like until it's nighttime, but all right, put it back in park. Definitely looks good. All right, so let's move on to the bumper. Right, so it's already got an LED right here. And remember I said there's some shade tree stuff here. Well, check this out. That is a bead of silicone right there. So you can imagine that this probably isn't going to be the easiest thing to get out of place. Why a person, look, these are like $10, okay? $12 if you want LEDs built into them, which I have on my truck. I wanted to try without. Oh, actually, it came loose. So buy these. Like, you can get them at O'Reilly's or your local parts store or the link I list down below. Replace these. Don't silicone them. All right, either way, I'm gonna try to scrape this off without beating up the bumper, and then I'm gonna use some fine steel wool to try to scuff that junk off there. But either way, all we need to do is we need to twist these guys. I may not be able to do it with one hand. There we go. Twist that. See how this light has all those mini bulbs on it? I don't like that. I want something different. So we're gonna grab the bulbs that I got. We're gonna put those in, but before I do that, like I said, I'm gonna scrape this off and get this looking a lot nicer. Now, how I've kind of addressed this is I used a razor blade to like kind of lightly unscrew this up. Got some Windex here. And so I'm gonna use some Windex and a little bit of fine steel wool. And I think we can maybe get it clean without beating it up too much. You don't wanna gouge when you're using a razor blade on chrome. But kind of an old school way of cleaning old bumpers is guys will take some WD-40 to clean the rust off. They'll use WD-40 and a piece of Scotch-Brite or fine steel wool like this, and it'll get all the stuff off. I'm out of adhesive remover. I'd use some of it. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. In the sun, you might catch a little bit of a hologram. I'm trying to stay in this area. But like I said, guys, don't fix it this way. Let me get the rest of this cleaned off and then we'll cut back in. I'll show you the new parts. Now that we got it all off there, like I said, I like to use these lights because they have that dome on them. Not as directional. So, hey, can you flip the headlights on for a minute? We'll see. Sometimes these guys, generally a good bulb, like, I mean, this is a Phillips, so generally it'll work both ways, but we'll give it a shot. They on? Yeah. Okay, I made a liar out of me. I'll flip it around. There we go. All right, go ahead and shut it off. Shut the lights off. They off? Yeah. I think it stays on for a little bit, but all right, so now that we've got that, I know it's probably blinding you guys on camera, but we need to put this guy in one way or the other here and give it a twist. Nice and snug. And then the way these work is you put the back in first, okay? And it slides up in the inside of the bumper, and then this clips like that. And then we're in place. And we'll give it another good wipe down here. And the work truck that I just got, that my son's been driving, actually needs these too. This is a common deal. I mean, there's a lot of vibration back here, and these things are just, you know, they're cheaper plastic, and if somebody's trying to put bulbs in it and don't know what they're doing, they'll yank them apart. But let's get the other side in, then we'll step back and take a look at this whole deal. Now, I really think I'm gonna take you guys out and show you at night, but got the old headlights or taillights here, and guys, I've tried to sell these in the past. I'm not gonna ship them. They're worth nothing used. So we're gonna toss them. But I might scrub down the back of this a little better, and then of course it's locked. You got the key? But they seem to fit good. Like, you know, people complained about the fitment. Guys, they move up and down quite a bit, but if you move them up, this line lines up with the body line on the bottom. And most people don't pay attention to what they look like before, you know, like the original taillights. How did they fit? You know, these will not, guys, though, however, fit the barn door Yukons or Tahoes. So do not buy these thinking they will fit. The main reason, and you see a lot of that, it'll say generally when you order them, but this guy here is completely flat on a barn door. So you see how this is a cutaway here? Obviously on a barn door, your hinge is in here, so it's gonna fold out. It would hit this and break it. So don't buy these thinking they will fit on a barn door Yukon. There's not a lot of options out there for barn doors. And I do think the barn doors is kind of cool, but this is what was available. Obviously it wasn't my color choice, but either way, let's go out at night. We'll take a look at it where it's like actually dark. Go hit the taillights one more time. We'll look at it here, but then like I said, I'll take you guys out at night and show you how much brighter. I didn't show you it before, but I'll show you how bright it is at night anyway. All right, hit the brakes. All right, just turn the flashers on top of the steering wheel. All right, turn that off, and then drop it down in reverse if the key's on. Awesome. So you can see our housings, nice and stationary, got our new LEDs, LED backup lights. I think it looks a lot better, guys. Let's take it outside and look at it at night.